Hello and welcome to Meal Prep Sundays. So I got some requests on meal prep. So got my apron and I'm just gonna be showing you how I meal prep. I know everyone does it a bit differently, but I'm just gonna be showing you some tips and basically how I meal prep. The first thing I like to start with is basically prioritizing what's gonna take the longest. So you wanna think about thawing your meat or seafood or whatever your protein source is ahead of time, and then you're going to want to start cooking the carb sources first because those usually take the longest. So my choice of carbs for this week are brown basmati rice and some little potatoes. And the other carb source that I'm going to be going for breakfast is going to be oatmeal. However, I like to cook my oatmeal in the morning. Some people like to do overnight oats, that's an option as well, but we're gonna just stick with these for the meal prep. So we're gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 400, and then we're gonna also cook the rice. This takes a while, but I do have a rice cooker, so we're gonna put this in the rice cooker and preheat the oven. My rice cooker plays a sound every time I turn it on, so yeah. And what we're gonna do next is we're just gonna prepare the potatoes in a baking dish. First of all, I'm gonna rinse these off, but I'm going to measure everything after they're cooked because you're always supposed to weigh your food after. So not everyone wants to weigh their food, but I'm weighing my food right now so I can have accurate amounts of food for the week. I put 1 full cup of rice in there. I'm pretty sure it makes about 3 to 5 servings depending on how much rice you eat. So I have my baking tray and my giant cutting board with a MasterChef chopping knife. I like to cut mine into small slices because that's just how I like them. Oil spray, you can use anything you want. I like olive oil. And we're just a little bit. And then I like to use garlic powder, Himalayan pink salt, and pepper. This is what it should look like. As I wait for the carbs to get cooked, I'm gonna start preparing my lunch for right now. And also some of that lunch will be leftovers for tomorrow, so I'll show you kind of how I do that. I have 2 portions of rice already ready, which means 1 for today, 1 for tomorrow. The remainder of the rice will be for the remainder of the week. So I kind of like strategically think about how I'm gonna eat my food. So I don't usually like to have raw fish the next day, so I don't want to cook like a bunch, but if I'm having it for lunch tomorrow, it should be okay. I wouldn't recommend doing that frequently, but that's what we're gonna do right now. And I'm gonna be having carrots and spinach. I'm doing kind of like a rice bowl, so it's gonna have shredded carrot with some spinach and then the tuna on top. So the carrots are shredded. All right, before I heat up my rice, I need to cook my tuna. It takes like literally a few minutes because I'm just searing it on the pan. Down the tuna steaks just to get the excess water. Usually I would do sesame oil with sesame seeds, and it is really good. You're gonna have it on like medium high. Let that sizzle. But it should look something like this. Well, I'm no chef, so please don't judge me. I could have done this a better way probably, but I just cut them into thin slices like this. So this is 130 grams of carbs on my electronic scale, okay? So I'm evening this out so that it goes to 0 because we already know that there's 130 in here. So I'm trying to meet 100 grams of veggies. So what I'm gonna do is put around like half of this amount of carrots until we reach a good amount. So that's only 30 grams. Usually cucumber would weigh this down, but I ran out. So we're just gonna do like a lot of carrots, I guess. Not ideal, but it's fine. Just gonna get my vegetables in. And then the rest, we're gonna do some spinach. I'm just gonna continue weighing this on. I know that there's 100 grams here now, not including the rice. So we're just gonna do until it shows up as 180. Boom, 181, 180, perfect. I'm just gonna take this off now. Now we're gonna deal with the fat source. So I need 60 grams of fat, not necessarily 60 grams of fat, but like we're gonna measure it at 60 grams. So I have some leftover guacamole that I put in here. So we're just gonna add into this because I'm gonna use this, obviously, just to get that out of the way. Fish macadoo. I like to cut some lime. I'm gonna be adding garlic powder, pepper, and Himalayan pink salt, which are my go-tos, and then I'm gonna squeeze, some lime in there. 60, it's pretty easy, honestly, like it's not too difficult. Perfect, 61. Now it's 57. It doesn't have to be exact, but I'm just being annoying. Look at all the colors. Any type of dressing you want, any like aiolis, whatever you feel. Sauce it up, spice it up, do your thing, but this is a good foundation of what my lunch looks like today. So not gonna lie guys, I definitely messed up a bit because like I said, you're not really supposed to eat raw fish the next day or like for a long period of time after, which is why I would usually just prep it fresh. So I should have just cooked one tuna steak because I ended up accidentally portioning like 4 portions, but I wanted to portion 2. I don't know what I was thinking, but I wanted to do just rice and fish, and then as a side dish, do hummus with veggies and dip. So I have some raw peppers, and I was just gonna dip that in here and just have that as my veggie and fat source, and then have my carbs and protein as like my main meal with just rice and fish. I did the same method as the tuna, so I just got some cod. I got 3 pieces of cod. I'd say about 20 minutes for this guy. Messed up on the tuna situation. I am just gonna fully cook the 2 other portions of tuna, which is not ideal because I'd rather have tuna tataki. A pan like this, I'm using chopsticks because I feel like it. That's easy. I'm just cooking the tuna all the way through so that I don't get salmonella, or should I say tunella. I hate myself. So I have these. You can use whatever you want. If you want it to be like in one dish, that's cool too. These ones keep them separate. So I put my potatoes in the large spot, and then I do my protein and my veggies, which I'll start doing momentarily. They look pretty crispy. The potatoes in a large bowl. So there are a few ways of doing this, but what I like to do is I will weigh the bowl first, okay? First things first. You put the bowl on here. First, we're gonna click on the even out button, okay? And now we're gonna put the potatoes in here so we know how much all of the potatoes together weigh. This now knows that the bowl is at 0. So when I put this on, this should only be the measurements of the potatoes itself and not the bowl. So it's at 571 grams. So what you can do is I usually have a calculator out and I will just minus 130 because I'm trying to do 130 carbs. 571. We're gonna do minus 130, and that's gonna be 441. So now I'm gonna take the potatoes into each portion or into each tray until it shows 441. Perfect. And then you're just gonna keep minusing the amount, minus 130. 4 portions. So from Monday to Thursday, I can have this meal. I have 50 carb here, so I can even, if I have leftover rice, I know that I can have, potentially I can have rice and potatoes. So we're gonna keep this aside, knowing that there's 50 grams. Okay, so at this point, we now have our carbs. So we've got all of our potatoes. The rice still has about 12 minutes left, which is perfect timing actually. And now we have to cook our veggies. So I use the frozen veggies. I get this from Costco, it's just the stir fry blends. That and leave it for a bit, honestly. It's gonna steam on its own because they're already frozen and it won't take too long to cook. For this to cook, I'm just gonna cut these peppers. My pepper hack is I will literally just like shove my thumb in to the top and go like that in half, and then just get this piece out and this piece. That's how, it's super easy. I put the container on it. It's at 43. We go even it out to 0. 100 grams. I just want like a variety of colors because I'm weird. Now we're gonna do 60 grams of hummus. The rice is ready. All right, so basically what I'm doing now is just the same method of just placing the tray on here, portioning it out until it gets to 80 grams, and then I just keep going. So it's pretty straightforward. Grab some tongs and put the fish on here until it gets to 80. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do is a snack. So I have 2 snacks in the day. One of them is just a protein bar, and the other one is gonna be Greek yogurt and berries. All right, guys, this is my meal prep for a majority of the week. So usually what I'll do, I'll cook most of it on Sundays, and then on Wednesday, I'll have to cook like a little bit more for the weekend. So that concludes my video. I did make an additional little snack here because I was meal prepping anyways, and this is a part of my meal plan. So I got this really cute coconut bowl. It's got Greek yogurt, berries, peanut butter, banana, and topped with cinnamon, all that good stuff. The amount of food I ate, if I were to include breakfast, which is oats, protein powder, berries, and peanut butter and cinnamon, that would be about 1,800-ish calories. So everyone's gonna be different. Don't go with what I'm eating because everyone's different, and this plan was designed for me specifically for my goals. So the whole purpose of this video was just to give you an idea on how I actually do my meal prep. I personally love that electronic scale. I got it from Costco, and it's super easy to use, and even just to have a general idea of how much you're eating, the portion sizes, just to have everything consistent throughout the week is definitely really helpful and super easy. You just throw it in the fridge, heat it up, and you're good to go. So those are my tips, and that's the way I meal prep. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me. Kasumi_fit is my Insta, and yeah, just let me know if you have any cues.